Society expects the perfect person to crave companionship, draw vitality from mingling with others, and buzz with life amid gatherings and endless chatter. We're conditioned to believe that if crowds don't invigorate you, if solitude suits you better than shared moments, then there's a flaw in your makeup. You must be damaged. You require repair. Yet, here's the captivating twist. Those who squirm most around guests frequently grasp a deeper insight into personal vitality, the framework of the inner self, and the hallowed essence of personal territory. They're not fleeing existence. They're safeguarding something invaluable. They're upholding a reality that the ever-outgoing, always-on-call, non-stop engaging masses have utterly overlooked. Your dwelling isn't merely boundaries and shelter. It's not simply storage for belongings or a spot to rest your head. Music. Your dwelling embodies you. It serves as the tangible extension of your psychological realm. Each chamber, nook, and serene nook mirrors a facet of your mind. When another steps inside, they aren't merely passing an entryway. They're venturing across a boundary into the core of your spirit. Consider this. After enduring a demanding day of donning your outward persona, fulfilling diverse duties, acting as the colleague, the companion, music, the dutiful grown-up, what exactly are you accomplishing by returning? You're reconnecting with your true essence. You're shedding the facade. You're easing your defenses. You're at last exhaling freely. Your dwelling is the spot where pretense ends and authenticity begins. Then the chime sounds. Abruptly, the facade must return. You must engage that facet I term the outward persona, the iteration of yourself skilled in casual banter, in courteous exchanges, in embodying the welcoming entertainer. Even within your haven, you're compelled to resume the act. No surprise, then, that you push back against it? No shock that an inner part of you shrinks away? But let's delve further. For the unease surrounding guests transcends mere energy conservation or tranquility defense, valid as those motives are. It touches on a more elemental truth. It concerns your fundamental wiring. Humans essentially connect with their surroundings in two primary fashions. Certain individuals draw power from external sources. They're revitalized by engagement, by excitement, by companionship. Place them in a bustling gathering and they sparkle like holiday lights. They thrive on outer input. The external realm replenishes their reserves. Conversely, some, and maybe you count among them, operate in the reverse manner. Your vitality originates internally. You're renewed through isolation, through quietude, through freedom from outside pressures. The external realm doesn't replenish you. Music. It depletes you, and your dwelling, your secluded haven, is the refuge where you restore your inner reserves. Grasping this shifts the entire perspective. You're not complicating matters by shunning company. You're not rejecting society by favoring an empty residence over a lively one. You're merely respecting the unique calibration of your own essence. A flute doesn't express regret for lacking a trumpet's tone. A stream doesn't atone for its downward course. Music. Nor should you atone for craving aloneness as profoundly as others crave connection. Now, this is where it truly intrigues. Your aversion to guests could signal insights about your internal state. We each harbor what I describe as the hidden self. Those unexamined fragments, the feelings we've stifled, the anxieties we've concealed, the traits we've masked because they seemed unfit. And when another breaches your domain, particularly if you're attuned, music, particularly if you're observant, this isn't discourtesy. This is your mind striving to maintain its wholeness. Your deeper awareness senses you're unprepared, music, for certain disruptions. You're still navigating your psychological terrain, and another's arrival halts that process. Picture it like this: music, envision assembling a fragile mosaic. Pieces lie scattered before you. Patterns emerge, links form. Then, an intruder jostles the surface. Your progress scatters. You restart from scratch. That's the sensation visitors evoke amid profound self-exploration. Yet, another layer exists that few discuss. Music, the metaphorical layer. Your residence transcends mere structure. It symbolizes your inner being. In visions of slumber, a home represents your very self. The outward veneer we adopt in gatherings, the public demeanor we assume, this isn't outright deception, but it's incomplete authenticity. It's an essential adjustment. The front area is your worldly presentation. The sleeping quarters hold music, your closeness, your fragility. When folks step over your doorstep and into your house, they're treading on hallowed ground. They're venturing into the sanctuary of your essence. If you're the type who values your inner world deeply, if you're committed to exploring your own depths and mapping the terrain of your spirit, then guests can seem like an intrusion. This holds true even if their intentions are good, even with loved ones. After all, the journey of self-discovery, the genuine effort, unfolds in seclusion. It thrives in quietude. It emerges when you're solitary with your reflections, emotions, uncertainties, and anxieties. It blossoms without an audience to entertain, without someone to impress, without pressures to fulfill. This leads to a vital insight. The persona we adopt around others, the public demeanor we display, isn't entirely deceptive, yet it falls short of full authenticity. It's an essential adjustment. But who decreed that the perfect person must always be accessible, perpetually receptive, constantly prepared for interaction? Music. The reality is, certain individuals are wired for distinct pursuits. Some thrive on profound exploration over broad engagement, yet if we cling to that facade too persistently, even within our personal spaces, we risk disconnecting from our core identity beneath it. Each instance you greet a guest reluctantly when you'd rather not. Each moment you force a grin and chat amiably while craving hush. Each occasion you feign warmth when your spirit yearns for isolation. You're forsaking your true self. You're prioritizing the ease of fitting in socially over honoring your authentic requirements. And here's the snare. You've likely engaged in this pattern for years, so now solitude stirs shame in you. You believe something's amiss with your wiring. You assume you ought to relish hosting gatherings. You should be warmer, more inviting, more outgoing. But who established that standard? Who proclaimed the perfect person must always be accessible, perpetually receptive, constantly prepared for interaction? The reality is, certain individuals are wired music for distinct pursuits. Some excel in depth over breadth. Some are destined to form intense bonds with a select few, rather than shallow ties with crowds. Some require extended periods of withdrawal, not from disdain for others, but because aloneness fuels their deepest endeavors. Across tales and legends in every society, there's a timeless motif. The recluse, the sage dwelling in isolation, withdrawing from the crowd to unearth insight in seclusion. This character isn't a misfit. This isn't someone who floundered amid social circles. Consider our era where folks are overwhelmed by nonstop input. Everyone stays perpetually reachable, linked, reacting to endless external pulls. Calls buzz, notifications accumulate, duties escalate. That inner voice resisting guests isn't obstinate. It's heeding a primordial summons. It's pursuing an introspective route over an extroverted one. Music. It's attuned to an inner whisper, urging, quote Sant'Tino, I'm not advocating total withdrawal. I'm not urging you to sever all ties and retreat to a hermitage. Equilibrium is key. Bonds are precious. Music ties hold value. Yet what I mean is this, your craving for alone time isn't a defect to cure. Your aversion to company isn't a personal shortcoming. Your instinct to guard your haven isn't self-centered. Music, it's sagacity. Consider our era where folks are swamped by relentless buzz. Everyone stays perpetually reachable, linked, reacting to endless external pulls. Calls buzz, notifications pile high, duties balloon, music, and then they puzzle over their fatigue, disarray, and disorientation. They've lost the art of solitary reflection. They've overlooked that the spirit craves quiet, like the flesh craves rest. When that reluctance toward guests surfaces, when you'd sooner bar the door, when a quiet night trumps a night of socializing, you're not shunning existence, you're revering it. You're affirming that your inner realm counts, your tranquility counts, your vitality counts. You're declaring you won't offer yourself up to the demands of communal norms. This takes bravery, since society will deem you misguided. Kin might label you challenging. Pals could call you reclusive. But in that honest core where you face your truth, music, you recognize the reality. You grasp that in solitude you embody your essence more fully than amid others. You sense that quietude is like returning to your roots. You realize isolation isn't void, it's abundant. Those who sap your energy through their drop-ins, who wear you out with their company, who compel you to put on a show right in your own space. Hey, those folks aren't awful. They're just operating on a different beat. Their strings are pitched in a way that's not yours. They crave the things that drain you dry. And that's okay. Go ahead and let them enjoy their gatherings, their endless company, their buzzing social scenes. But you've got the green light to pick a different path. You've got the okay to turn down invites. You've got the go-ahead to guard your alone time like the gem it truly is. Because here's the secret no one shares. The planet doesn't just rely on the outgoing types, the party animals, the always-on-call crowd. It needs the recluses as well. It needs those who plunge into depths, who ponder big ideas, who wrestle with tough dilemmas without the buzz of social demands pulling them away. The planet needs individuals who master solitude without the sting of loneliness, who unearth treasures in quiet moments, who can occupy an empty space and realize it's brimming with life. That unease you get around guests is nudging you toward who you really are. It's revealing that shallow chit-chat and endless mingling aren't your scene. You're wired for immersion. Stop labeling yourself as standoffish, prickly, or flawed. Tune into that pushback. It's whispering you must safeguard your inner realm. It's reminding you your vitality is invaluable. And once you embrace it, once you quit battling your instincts, once you drop the shame over craving isolation, magic unfolds. You grow more genuine, you show up more fully. When you opt to hang with people, you're all in. No distractions, no exhaustion, no daydreams of escape. You pour from abundance, not from scraps. Yet to replenish that well, you require hush. You demand room to breathe. You want your place as a haven, not a spotlight. You need stretches where demands don't touch you, where no facade is needed, where you can just exist. So when a pal suggests dropping by and that old reluctance bubbles up, skip the self-criticism. Skip branding yourself antisocial, stubborn, or damaged. Heed the message in that reluctance. It's urging you to shield your private space. It's stressing your vitality's worth. It's declaring that being alone isn't self-centered. It's holy. You're off the hook for swinging open the door at every buzz. You're not bound to be ever ready, ever flexible, ever hospitable. You can claim your territory for your own. You can declare, not this time, not right now, perhaps never. And those who genuinely value you will get it. Those who respect you will respect your limits. Those who recognize your value won't push you to trade your calm for their ease. Your dwelling is your shrine. Your aloneness is your ritual. Your quiet is your mentor. And the side of you that shuns company, it's no flaw. It's a compass. It's leading you back to your core. So shut the door if that's what it takes. Dim the lamps, ignore the ringing phone, settle into the stillness, tune into your breath's rhythm. Sense your form's heft against the seat. Observe what surfaces when there's no audience to entertain, no one to impress, no priorities overriding yours. This is your discovery zone. This is your path to completeness. This is where true growth ignites, and it unfolds solo. The outer chaos will keep knocking, craving your time, insisting on your company, angling for your essence. But the inner terrain, the terrain of your spirit, that calls for defense, for borders, for frequent no's to the external so you can affirm the internal. This isn't hiding. This isn't dodging. This isn't cowardice. This is reconnection to origins. This is reclaiming your essence beyond playing roles for others. This is the holy labor of self-realization. And if it leads to sparser guests, less hosting, more solo nights, embrace it. After all, you'll share your days with yourself way more than with anybody else. You're just the sort who gets that the deepest bond is the one you nurture with your own self. And that bond thrives on moments, expanse, and hush. Your space isn't communal turf. The easier you get with being alone, the realer your links with others become. The more you cherish quiet needs, the sharper your engagement when words flow. So next time that knot hits at the chime, that wall at a visit request, hold off on sorries, hold off on defenses, hold off on excuses. Just affirm your truth. You're arriving as your real self, vibrant, steady, lucid. And such authenticity? It's scarce. That sort of authenticity holds immense value. So, listen to that inner voice urging you to keep visitors at bay. Embrace the insight in your reluctance. Recognize that your craving for isolation is guiding you to core truths about your identity and what sustains you. You're not flawed. You're not challenging. You're not mistaken. You're just an individual who understands that the deepest connection you'll ever form is with your own being. And nurturing that bond demands uninterrupted time, personal boundaries, and quiet reflection. Your living space isn't open to the world. Your vitality isn't for shared consumption. Your hours aren't up for grabs. These are yours alone, and you deserve to safeguard them fully. When that familiar tension arises at the sound of the doorbell or when a visitor approaches, resist the urge to say sorry, to over-explain, or to defend your choice. Instead, just affirm your inner truth. At times, the most compassionate act toward yourself is to shut the door, secure the latch, and revel in the peace of your solitary presence. Because that's where you truly belong. That's where your essence shines brightest. That's where clarity about priorities returns. Priorities aren't measured by the crowds you host, the extroverted image you project, or the constant accessibility you offer. They lie in staying faithful to your music-inherent self, in respecting your personal requirements, in shielding the sanctuary where your spirit finds freedom. The solitary figure with the glowing lantern traversing the darkness unaccompanied isn't adrift. He's charting his path. And the illumination he holds isn't loaned from others, it's born from his personal insights, cultivated in seclusion, deepened in stillness, shielded from the gusts. That very glow resides within you as well.